all enter three paths. Uh, when we read in the scriptures about the pitiful beings in Buddhism, that's when we truly understand it's really so pitiful. Only by truly being content within oneself, finding real satisfaction and peace of mind, can one genuinely be willing to stop doing evil, to refrain from negative actions, and also be willing to practice good by making positive choices, and to sincerely accumulate merit and virtue over time. Only then can we break free from the cycle of rebirth and put an end to birth and death. Wise people, awakened people, take the Buddha as our standard for practice and study. Learn from the Buddha, learn from the Bodhisattvas. We should strive to resemble them. To practice until one is like the Buddha means to truly resemble the Buddha. Our thoughts and intentions should be like the Buddha's. Speak like Buddha, live like Buddha, work like Buddha, treat others and everything like Buddha. Practice to be like the Buddha. If you study Buddhism and end up nothing like the Buddha, then you've learned it wrong. That's not really studying Buddhism. The Buddha is compassionate. In modern terms, compassion means having a deeply loving and caring heart. The Buddha is full of love. He loves all sentient beings. That's far greater than any god. If you look at other religions, they often say that God loves humanity, but not animals. And not plants. Earth's ecology has been destroyed. Does it only love humans? Look at how great the Buddha is. The Buddha is compassionate towards all, loves all sentient beings. This is what we should learn. If you look at what is recorded in the scriptures, you can see that the way the Buddha lived his life each day and the way he treated others with kindness, patience, and deep compassion offers us a clear example to reflect on and learn from. We should not only love all animals, but also plants. Vinaya Sutra, the Buddha taught monks to be pure and not to step on grass and trees. Look at the grass, whether it's thick or thin. Should you really step on it with your feet? Should you really walk right over the top of it? If there's no path and you have no choice, then you can go that way. But if there is a path, you must go around and not trample the thick grass. This shows that there isn't a single plant or mineral that we shouldn't care for, as each one, regardless of its size or appearance, has its own unique value and purpose in the world. Only when you have compassion can you truly help all sentient beings. Helping sentient beings to reach maturity, this is what it truly means to study Buddhism. To study Buddhism, you need wisdom. So where does wisdom come from? At our current stage, there's only one way to gain wisdom, listening to the teachings and reciting the Buddha's name. Hearing teachings, not reciting Buddha. Wisdom takes time. Only reciting the Buddha's name without learning slows wisdom. Combine listening to teachings and reciting the Buddha's name to gain wisdom faster. For example, practicing giving takes 10 years to gain wisdom. Listening to teachings takes 10 years, and reciting the Buddha's name takes 10 years too. But listening to teachings and reciting the Buddha's name gains wisdom in 5 years. It's ahead of schedule. Reciting Buddha's name purifies mind. With a pure mind, you gain blessings of Buddhas. With a pure and compassionate mind, you receive the blessings of the Triple Gem. So how could you not develop wisdom? People without wisdom often make mistakes without realizing it themselves, and even think they are doing good deeds. They think they've gained much merit. But in reality, they're creating negative karma without knowing it. This is ignorance. Ignorance means not being able to tell truth from falsehood, taking what's real as fake and what's fake as real, not being able to distinguish between right and wrong, mistaking false teachings for the true Dharma, and seeing the true Dharma as false teachings, confusing good and evil, benefit and harm. That's what's called ignorance. There are plenty of people who can't tell right from wrong, good from evil, or benefit from harm. The most worrying thing is being ignorant yourself, not having this ability. How many people can actually stay calm and truly, thoughtfully, and seriously reflect on themselves in their lives? That's the way of transcending the mundane. When it comes to truth and falsehood, right and wrong, good and evil, benefit and harm, do I have the ability to tell the difference myself? If I don't have the ability to distinguish, then I should turn to the Buddha. Where is the Buddha? The Buddha is in the scriptures. So, seek out the Buddha by reading the scriptures. See with your own eyes how the Buddha acts. How does the Buddha think? We should carefully observe and thoughtfully experience this. Let go of your own deluded thoughts and discriminations. Follow the Buddha's teachings. This is what we should do before we've developed wisdom. To distinguish between right and wrong, good and bad. The only way to completely and truly avoid committing all possible sins and to accumulate good merits. That's why the ancient masters always said, you must read the scriptures, you must study the teachings. They believed that only by engaging deeply with these sacred writings and reflecting on their meaning can true understanding be achieved. That's the reason behind it all. Now, let's look at the next passage from the scripture. I hope my Father will widely expound the teachings of the Scriptures for me so that I may practice and cultivate according to them. We learn. Dharmakara showed us by example, guiding us with his actions. We also wish to become Buddhas ourselves, and we also hope that in every possible way, in all our thoughts and deeds, we can strive to be just like the Buddha. Where do we go to learn? We must especially get very close to good friends. The monk Dharmazang was exceptionally fortunate in his lifetime to have the rare opportunity to meet a good teacher, the Tathagata, the revered king of the world. He was really lucky. We are really pretty lucky too, aren't we? We are here listening to the world-honored king preaching to him. When we listen to the world-honored king preaching to him, he is also preaching to me. What's wrong with that? Can you understand it from this perspective? According to this, his prophecies are truly extraordinary and remarkable in every way, and our prophecies are equally extraordinary, sharing the same remarkable qualities as his. They're definitely, absolutely not inferior to his. This line is about seeking the Dharma. Ask the Buddha to widely preach the sutras and Dharma for him. Expound here just means to explain or teach. The next two lines are very important. To uphold and practice it with the utmost respect, and to practice according to the teachings. If you don't have this attitude when seeking the Dharma, what's the point of the Buddha teaching you the sutra after all? You won't gain any benefit from it. If don't want benefit, will Buddha teach? To be honest, if you met Confucius, he wouldn't teach you either. From what we know, to receive teachings from Confucius, students had to be clever. If you were too slow-witted, the old master simply wouldn't teach you. 1 and 1 are not in the ordinary and 3 are not in the ordinary. Confucius just wouldn't be interested in teaching you anymore. But the Buddha is far more compassionate than Confucius. Even if you don't have the right attitude for learning and practice, the Buddha will still teach. Why does the Buddha still teach? It's to plant seeds in your alaya consciousness. Even if you don't understand, he'll still explain it to you. Even if you can't do it, he'll still tell you. That's compassion taken to the absolute limit. No worldly sage can compare to that. This is true compassion, equal compassion for all. If you only teach those who are already good or clever, that's not equal compassion. So, when the Buddha teaches sentient beings, we come to realize that if someone doesn't have good roots, we help plant them. If someone already has good roots, we help them grow. If they've already grown, we help them mature. That's why the Buddha spoke about this.
Mahayana.
Then there's no distinction anymore. Not only does it heal naturally on its own, it truly achieves teaching without discrimination. This is the ultimate method. All sentient beings receive the Buddha's teachings. Only then do we see the greatness of the Buddha. The Buddha is worthy of respect, and for good reason. This is what we should learn. And even more so, we should learn from the spirit of Dhammakara's pursuit of learning. That is to practice according to the teachings. Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, as we know, spoke about offerings, and the very first type of offering is practicing according to the teachings. This means whatever the Buddha teaches, that's exactly what we do. No going against it. We carry it out honestly and sincerely. To uphold means to maintain it without giving up. It's not about doing it for a day or two and then slacking off or getting careless, not at all. If you can keep it up forever, how could you not achieve success? This is what it means to be a truly good student. A good teacher, when they come across a student like this, will treasure them like a gem. In Buddhism, this is called a Dharma vessel for teachings. The teacher has truly found a remarkable treasure, and the precious teachings can now be passed on. There's someone to inherit the way. When it comes to spreading the Dharma and benefiting sentient beings, nothing is more important than continuing the Buddha's wisdom life in the world. Having successors in later generations is the most important thing. This is even more crucial than giving Dharma talks. You might be great at giving talks, but if there's no one to continue after you're gone, that's it. Teaching more important Dharma talks. Buddhism generations. So that they never die out and can benefit countless beings. More important than talks. Now, to be honest, in the process of giving Dharma talks, teaching and learning go hand in hand. You're a student still learning. Teacher and student unite in way. They help each other. When you've achieved real attainment in the way, in Buddhism, we call this cultivating and realizing the fruit. In the teaching tradition, this means fully awakening to Pratyeka Buddhahood, and in the Chan school, it's about realizing your true nature. At this stage, passing on the Dharma becomes even more important than spreading it. Talk about one lifetime. First is seeking Dharma. Second is spreading Dharma. Third is passing on Dharma. Only then is your virtue complete. So this point here, practicing according to the Dharma, is extremely important. Will we be able to achieve attainment in this lifetime? The key lies in this very sentence. According to the Dharma, but according to which Dharma? In fact, it is enough to follow what is said in this sutra. If you can clearly and truly understand every word and sentence from start to finish in this sutra, and you can fully put it all into practice in your daily life and actually do it in a real and practical way, then that's practicing according to the Dharma. Not only can you do it yourself in your own daily life, but if you consistently and sincerely practice generosity and also gently encourage others to do the same, that's truly benefiting both yourself and others. You are already walking the Bodhisattva path. When you're teaching the Dharma, you're on the Bodhisattva path, and even when you're not teaching, you're still on the Bodhisattva path. Speaking silent, active still. How incredible is that? Upholding and practice. The following verse grasps the root of love, suffering, life, and death. This line is about cutting off afflictions. Earlier, we talked about learning the Dharma door. When it comes to learning the Dharma door, we all have that intention. We all really yearn for it. But what about cutting off afflictions? Here comes the problem. Not only can we not overcome our afflictions, we end up being chased away by them. This part explains it really well. What are afflictions? They are the root of emotional suffering and the cycle of birth and death. When it comes to the root of birth and death, you are so diligent. You put in so much effort. You never forget it. What causes life and death? Selfishness, self-interest, greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance. Have you let go of these? Aren't you working hard and being diligent every day? You're cultivating greed, anger, ignorance, self and others, and arrogance. This is what you're working on. These things are the root of suffering, foundation of the 6 realms of birth and death in the cycle of reincarnation. What method do you have? The Bodhisattva is teaching us here to pull it out, to completely uproot, to remove entirely the very root of birth and death itself, so that it can never grow back again. We need to wake up and absolutely mustn't keep doing this. If you can truly hold on to the root of birth and death, that means you genuinely awakened. But if you're still going along with your own personal afflictions and habitual patterns and tendencies, you're still confused and deluded. You haven't truly and completely woken up yet. So, we really need to thoughtfully reflect on ourselves every single day, taking a moment to consider our actions. Confucian school. Key. All are demanding. Every day, we should reflect on ourselves 3 times. He actually, in fact, talks about doing it 3 times. Confession in Buddhism is self-reflection. So in Pure Land Buddhism, in a more everyday sense, and evening chanting, for our evening recitation, a lot of the scriptures come from the 20th, 23rd, and 32nd to 37th chapters of this sutra. What do these passages talk about? Boundless is good. It is precisely this line, this crucial insight or teaching, that empowers us to identify and completely uproot the very deepest source of our afflictions, allowing us to address and. If you want to get rid of it, you first need to spot it. These days, we still just go along with our afflictions. In other words, we don't really understand the true nature of our afflictions. We still treat them like good mates. We are reluctant to let them go, not realizing they are actually bad news, not realizing just how much harm they do to us. We just don't see it clearly. As I mentioned earlier, we don't have the ability to tell right from wrong, good from bad, proper from improper, or even what's in our best interest. We are just ignorant ourselves. But once you truly wake up, once you really understand what exactly? Understand that these things are actually genuinely harmful to me, and truly recognize that they are illusory and not real, that they are wrong teachings, not the right path, that they are bad, not good, and that they do me harm and cause me suffering, bringing no benefit. Once you've truly figured out the real nature of right and wrong, kindness and evil, greed, anger, ignorance, and arrogance, you naturally won't want to get involved with them anymore. As Buddhists, no matter what the occasion is, no matter who I interact with, I am sincere. I don't think about who I am going to meet or what his identity or status is. I have to think about how to meet him and what I should say to him. It's exhausting. We don't do that. We are open and honest, always, no matter who we meet or what the occasion is. Whether it's meeting Buddhas and Bodhisattvas or even demons and ghosts, we always approach them with genuine sincerity. That's exactly how it should be. This is what it means to practice Buddhism. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas interact with the world and others with sincerity, purity, and a sense of equality. There's no falseness. Every thought is for the benefit of all beings, not for themselves. When good things are accomplished, all beings benefit. If nothing is achieved, then beings miss out on those blessings.